If you're wanting to see how I manage my trades using MacDaddy mean reversion trading strategy or the MacDaddy pullback slash trend trading strategies, stay tuned. Hey traders, this is MacDaddy Trader. Welcome back. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today we are using playback of January 21st, and we're starting at 7:42 a.m. Central Time. So that's going to be 8:42. Basically, a little bit before open, just so we can see what our levels are doing and everything else. So right now, we have a New York low that we just tested, and that had some significant volume, and that's an indication that we could be looking for longs, because uh, the contrarian trading slash mean reversion strategy includes hitting any one of these untested previous lows, and once we hit both of these, we have some confluence as to what we're looking for when we come back inside. So this could have been a entry, but typically I don't like to trade the mean reversion strategy outside of the New York Open because I don't get enough momentum to push it back fast enough. So, and I usually am not ready by this time. But typically, once the 7 to 7:15 candle central, 8 to 8:15 Eastern candle develops and creates this range, that's when I start looking for either continuation, mean reversion, anything like that. Right now we're trading on micro ES futures. You can also do this on micro NQ futures. Your levels might be a little different, but it's going to have similar style of results, and the NQ is just going to have a little bit more, variation in wicks, and obviously a different price per tick. Um, Micros are nice because I can use multiple contracts. You'll see when I place an entry that I'm gonna have 6 on the micro ES, 6 contracts going, um, and that's just one of those things where, hey, I have more opportunity to manage my trades. And um, let's see here. So right now I'm looking at this level. This level is where all the orders have to be placed from the previous aftermarket, um, you know, institutional, off the book trades. They get placed right here, so we get to see where that liquidity lies. We got the VWAP up here, so we're just waiting for the market to open. I'm going to look for any bounces off of this midline right here, and also I have my VWAP identified and my -2 standard deviations identified here. We're gonna fast forward this just a little, just to see where we're at on, we'll go through this pretty quickly. So right here we're consolidating. We're just consolidating, consolidating, consolidating. Low volume. Our MACD histogram is on the bullish side. Our MACD and signal lines are both negative, but we are coming close to this point right here where we have opportunity to make a decision if volume increases. These lines that I have right here that are very faint, those are just areas where I see 20 ticks and 60 ticks. All right, so we just crossed up right here. We just pushed really high. Volume is over 1,000. Um, we're moving now. So we have a break. and then we want to see how this comes down. If it does come down, if not, then we're just rolling with it. Typically we want to see a retrace 50%, come hit this line, and then push back out. With all this volume, we're able to do that before market open. So that's what we're looking for. We can do it during market open too. It's just, all right, here we go. So we're going to enter, we're going to buy the bid anywhere. Oh, missed it. Let's go ahead and put the order right there. Go. I'm going to move this down to here where we had some of these levels. And then I'm actually going to move this up, and this up, and this up. And I want this to hit just under these levels right here. So I have previous day levels. I want this to go halfway in between the 1 standard deviation and the VWAP. We'll put it somewhere right there. I want this to hit VWAP. So I'm assigning these different levels based on my dynamic assessment right here. And then I want this to potentially come back in somewhere right there. So this is all hand done. I'm not trying to, formalize this in any way. I could even put this back down here. I don't care, because we could put this below the low. That's kind of where I want to be. And when I do this, my scalp is going to get hit most likely because we're still in this range. If not, we're just going to come down and take out whatever's down here, but nothing is down here. All the levels are up here. So this is all I'm trying to do right now, is capture the levels and play this out and see where we go. So we were right in the middle of this. We just got our hits. We're on 3x speed, so we're going to do that. We're going to shore up. Oh, that was a little high. We're going to shore up our stop loss. Probably come right back down here. Now we can start to trail. We're trailing. Yeah, see how we scooted. If we want this, sometimes you gotta either put it closer in or just leave it where you want it. I'm not married to a position. I'll take what I can get. We're at VWAP, so we're just gonna play this one out. Matter of fact, I'll probably just let that one dangle. See? And we're getting close to the next minute, so now, we're still holding. We have VWAP. VWAP's probably going to be another buffer, and we're at a midline currently, so we're going to have a lot of action right here. Either way, we're winning, so we're already up a good amount, and this is kind of what we're looking for. So we're going to keep this going. We can increase the speed a little bit. And we got stopped out right there. So let's see how we did. We'll pause this for now. We'll bring this over. So right now we just did $251 in profits just on those micros. Now, a lot of times when people think of micros, they think of, 20, $30, but when you're trading it this way, you're multiplying that significantly. So that would be day done for me, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to keep going until we get to another level, and then we'll just keep trucking along, and we'll see what the differences are, um, going forward, to see, like, maybe if I didn't trail so tight, um, we could maybe had something go up, which is very possible considering the pressure to go upward. All right, we're 10xing speed right now, so just keep that in mind. We're not gonna bore you to death on watching ES move. So yeah, there's a lot of action here, and then eventually we came up. I held that way too tight, but hey, I got the profits for it. So we're about to hit this level. We hit it. We want to, I'm gonna pause this right here. So what some people might say is, because we hit these levels, let's go ahead and, take the run down. I do not like doing that because we are not outside the 2 standard deviation band. Okay. Also, there's a midline right here, which you can't really see that well, but it's the midline of the previous New York session, and that's a very hot level. So the chances are that if we broke Asia right next to it and there's a 2 standard deviation above it, that we're probably going to hit this, whether now or later. And what I want to do is have any lines that are session level lines, I want them to be hit outside of the 2 standard deviation band. So unfortunately, the only time that that's going to happen, is up here, because these are already outside it. This Asia, session right here is weak to me in my strategy because it's inside the band. So let's keep going. We're getting close to these levels here, so I just want to, maybe we'll slow this down just a titch, um, just to see how this works itself out. So we're already in a move, obviously a huge move, and we're approaching these levels. And what's really key is, once we start hitting these levels outside the band, we do not want to take a short until we close inside the band. And we want volume. So we're about to hit New York one day ago, and see how price starts to act very strangely when we get here, but it's thrusting upwards. Most likely gonna hit a bunch of these levels, maybe not all of them, but we'll see how it goes. We have not closed below the +2 standard deviation yet. We're selling now. And I want this to be behind. Yeah, I think that could work. Yep. Because we don't want to pull it all the way back behind all these. I'd prefer to hit all these first, but this is part of the strat. So we're going to take it the way we can, and it's going sideways. So we'll see how much more juice it has prior to dropping. Yep. And as far as the scalp, I like where the scalp's at. I like all of these. I'd prefer to have that one down there, this one somewhere closer to there, and this one right here. So that way we get a full spectrum of everything that's going on. So London has fallen. Um, we are now exclusively in New York session. The color change. Um, London's over, and we are slowly working our way down. Profits are taken. All right. I'm looking to start moving my stop. All right. I want to see how this plays out just a little more. I'm definitely thinking about moving it down to here at least to reduce my overall risk, because I don't want it to even have to worry about coming back up here. And once we get another close, I think we're good, um, to start looking this way because we have such a massive movement down. I'm not trying to play any games with that. Got stopped right there. If we want to enter back, we can. We can go
Order
sell right
submitted.
here. Let's let it hit. There we go. And now we're in an even better spot. Um, so we can get this scalp. Everything looks pretty good the way I have it. Okay, we got our scalp. Hitting break even. I just like to play it safe. That's how I mitigate a lot of my risk. And I leave money on the table, but hey, it might not have been my money to begin with. Because I'm still collecting at the end of the day. Increasing playback speed. And that's how that works out. So that was a good play. Let's review. So it does look a little messy here on the big scale, but we know exactly what happened. And now we're up to 408.75 for the day. And I mean, that's after, doing your one trade that got you 200 plus, and now you just executed one and a half more trades. That's what I consider that is, we had our initial, and then we moved our break even to refrain from any further incurred losses. Um, I could have probably done a little better job at waiting for the pullback and then setting my stops relative to the pullbacks, but that's just trained, and that's something that can be learned over time. Um, but yeah, that's the move that we're looking for, as well as the move that we had right here in the beginning. You can rewind and see how that was played out. So basically, um, we had a bounce, we had a move up past this level right here that I created, and then we came back in. We entered at the midpoint. We had our stop below the recent low, 15, 20 minutes, whatever that is. And then we targeted all of these areas. We hit VWAP. We could have had more, maybe if my stop was a little lower, but I'm a little bit more risk averse for the time being, and it's helped me out in situations where it just keeps reverting backwards. It keeps reversing back towards me, and I do not like that. So I hold it tight for now. Maybe further down the road, when I have a little bit more of a buffer established in each of the funded accounts, um, I can play a little bit more to the overall statistics with the longer trades. Um, it's just a comfort thing at the end of the day. What I feel comfortable with. I'll tell you what I do feel comfortable with is that $200 off a couple scalps and another 200 off of this trade right here. That's pretty comforting to me if I can do that consistently. And my win rate overall is anywhere from 70 to 80 percent in doing this strategy for probably the last month by hand. Um, and it's just based on the actual trades taken, not based on like, hey, the first trade of the day, the second trade of the day. It's just wherever I'm at coming into the space, identifying how much volume I have, identifying these trend aspects, the strength of the move, and then identifying the weakness, the drop off, and then being very specific in when I enter. So the entries were timed. Um, Trying to see, yeah, we closed somewhere in here. I think it was right here, and we entered, and then we kind of re-entered here at an interesting level. We still had our stop awareness, and then we carried forward. So I know a couple of you wanted to see how I take my entries and what my what the strategy kind of looked like in real time. So hopefully that helps in understanding what was going on. And if you're a little more comfortable with waiting to move your stop to break even or trailing anything, maybe waiting for that second uh, target to be hit first and then start the trail, that could potentially work too. Um, Working my way up to that particular level of comfort, but hopefully this gives you an idea of what to expect. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so that way you can be one of the first people to watch the next type of video I make. Don't forget to leave a comment. Link in the description below for the Discord channel where you can get these session level indicators and other indicators that I have made for this particular strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.